Hello, this is Jo, Stitchy Cat Lady 26, and welcome to Flosstube number 7. Happy New Year to both new and returning viewers. It's Thursday, 6th of January 2022, and this video is a couple of weeks late. There's a very good reason for that. I got a job. Just a little sales assistant job in a shop in Chester. Sells glass art and some jewellery. I've only done 1 week so far. I did 3 days last week. I've got 1 day this week, which is tomorrow. I actually thought it was today, and I've got in today only for somebody else to turn up, so I came home and decided to do video today instead of tomorrow. So that's my life update anyway. I got a job. Now, it seems to be the done thing at this time of the year to do a whip parade. But it's not actually been that long since I did one. My first video was only sort of end of September. So instead, I never want to follow the trends anyway. I'm going to do a finish parade. So my first finish of the year was my oldest whip. I've been working on it for intermittently, sporadically, for about 4 years, and thanks to magical stitches, prompts and using it for penalties, I finished the Fantasy Stitch Along by Lakeside Needlecraft. The actual designer was Durene, but it was only available through Lakeside. I did actually join it quite late. I think there was already 4 or 5 months done before I joined, and that's my excuse and I'm sticking to it. So it has actually been quite a fun stitch, and you can stitch each individual panel separately as cards or pictures or whatever you want, so I may do that in the future, but I'm undecided at this point. So that was my oldest whip, and my first big finish of the year. So my next finish of the year was a card that I did for a neighbour who was turning 70, and the whole street got together and did something. A few people did cards, and we all went and sang happy birthday outside the garden. So yeah, that was fun to do, and I'll put a little photo of that in. I just found it on Readly. My third finish was the child from Stitcharea, that is the child from the Mandalorian, so now known as Grogu. That was just done on 28 count opalescent using floss from Mo's Sale and a small amount of water lilies. Again, it's already been given, so I'll have to put a photo in. Next finish is Peruvian cat sampler. I found this after watching Michelle Bendy's Flosstube. She decided to do it as a stitch along, just to try and get a bit more business to the designer, which is Peruvian Flair. The fabric is from Durene, but I haven't got a note of the name of it, and the floss came from Mo's Sale again. So is that all? You can turn it around and have the kitty's face in the other way. Now, I've used this as a fundraiser for the RSPCA that I volunteer at. So that was November, and we raised £150. And I did need to apologise to the winner that I haven't posted it out yet. And Mandy, if you're watching this, I promise I will get it posted in the next few days. And Mandy, if you're not watching it, I'll still get it posted in the next few days. After that was another card. This is for my best friend, one of my oldest friends' silver wedding. Again, already presented, so I'll have to do a photo. It's not your typical silver wedding card. There's no silver on it for a start. It's just the word cherish with flowers around it, but the colours on it were her wedding colours, or very close to her wedding colours, and the word cherish had significance for Liz and her husband, so it was the right way to go. After that, my next finish was a card with a tortoise on for a colleague of my husband's. He literally rang me on Friday, on a Friday afternoon, and said, can you do me a card ready for Tuesday? Depends, what's it of? A tortoise. So do a hunt on Needley, find a tortoise, get it all stitched up in 2 days, and then had to make it. Again, it's already gone, so photo. After that, there's the Candlesticks Stitch Along, another beauty from Lakeside. The designer on this was Barton. I have stuck to the kit. I basically ordered the fabric and the threads as a kit. The only change I've made is the black back stitch for the cobwebs, where I've actually used the étoile. Like étoile, you can't really see the glitter in it. It's really very subtle, maybe a little bit too subtle for this. I haven't yet decided what I'm going to do with it, but I do love it. I mean, that lizard is so cute. That cat, the mouse, the frog, the monster. Everywhere you look, there's something interesting to look at. So I have signed up for the new Stitch Along, called Crystallize. Only the first one is out so far, so it looks like it's going to be semi-precious stones, and I'll show you more of that when I actually start it. Now this one has been presented and taken back. It is Down by the Sea by Angela Poole, again found on Readly. Hello Snowdrop. They're all supposed to be clouds. I didn't do the clouds. There's clouds in the fabric, why bother? So this was a gift for my sister-in-law and brother-in-law. They live right on the front at Rhyl, or sort of between Rhyl and Prestatyn, up on the North Wales coast, and since they've lived there, their house is pretty much all sea-based decoration, lots of shells and sea glass and stuff, so this seemed appropriate for them. They came to visit us literally a handful of days after I finished it, the day before I planned to take it to the framers. They told us that they were going to come and see us, so we didn't take it to the framers, and as you can see, it still hasn't gone to the framers, but we presented it to them in a gift bag and took it back so that we can get to the framers. So hopefully that'll happen in the next week. We'll get it there, because they're actually due home anytime now, if they're not already home. And they've actually spent Christmas and New Year in Spain. Finally, for the pieces I've actually got, and it's a fully finished object, is Sapphire Cat from Mill Hill. It's one of the Jim Shaw buttons and beads designs. I do have the button to put on the frames. That's the last thing I need to do. I'm not sure I'm going to do it. I think it looks quite nice without. So lots of beads. I think it's almost more beads than it is stitches. The frame discs come separate. I did buy that separately, so it's just a little things in there, and then a dowel to stick in there so you can use it as an easel. So that's the last of my finishes that's actually here. I've got a few little finishes that I did. There's a Halloween mouse, it's a Mill Hill kit. Give me a second, okay, so I said Halloween mouse, I meant Halloween cat. So that's the little kit. I will put a photo of the finished object. I finished it as a fridge magnet. There's also one that I did as a wizard, which again I did as a fridge magnet. They're both for girls that were leaving RSPCA, the receptionists who were both leaving. So they were just a farewell and see you again soon present. And for my mum and dad, we have a tradition in the family where we give tree presents. So this year I had a stocking, another Mill Hill kit, a little stocking, with Santa and a couple of a present and a candy cane, just stuffed in the top. So I got all that finished, so again I'll put a photo below. And that was also the end of my finish parade. So now we're going to go on to whip progress. I've only got 2 whips in progress that I've actually done much on that I can actually show you. The first is Spider's Queen. Art is by Little Fairy Art, excuse all the part threads, and it was charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. I'm doing that on 20 count Ada, 1/1. The work I've done was down here, so just a couple of rows of the 10 by 10 grids, and I've actually managed to do 1,234 stitches, and that's all went towards the Boss Baddie for the Magical Stitches challenge for the month, which I didn't quite manage. I was about 400 stitches short, but I just couldn't get them. If I hadn't got the job and started work, I would have got it easily, but you know, real life gets in the way sometimes. So this is now my oldest whip after finishing the Fantasy Stitch Along. Now with Magical Stitches, the new year. Get that away before Snowdrop decides to play with it. The other whip that I've got progress on is the Cryptid Stitch Along by the Witchy Stitcher. So since we last spoke, I've finished Jackalope and finished Jetty. By that time I'd kind of had enough black. Jackalope just so cute. Yeti's kind of cute, but that Jackalope. I'd had enough of black, and that's why I switched to Spider's Queen, just for a bit of colour. So that's all the whips I've got progress on. I've got a new start, so it really was New Year's Day, new start, but it's a gift. I've been told the recipient doesn't watch my videos, but I really don't want to take the chance. She does have some idea of what she's getting, but I don't want her to know specifics. Suffice to say, I will put a photograph in of the start. I have done 1,827 stitches out of a total of 4,719, which is 38.72% according to Pattern Keeper. So not a bad start. The monthly challenge on Magical Stitches comes to 5,313 stitches. So I should have it finished. if I want to finish that challenge, I should have it finished, because this counts as my newest project. So it covers all 4 tasks. So yeah, way to plan. Okay, on to the fun bit. We have some haul and some Stitchy kindness. So I'm going to show you the little bits first. I picked it, I paid for it, my sister took it off me and gave me the money. Snow Cuddler needle minder from Agnes Little Minders. Just love the colours in this. Turquoise, grey, blue, the purple on the flower, the blue agate stone in the middle, and with the little bits of Swarovski. I just think she's beautiful, and she is actually one of the ones that I think of as female, not male. Most others I think of as male. And a little bit of Stitchy kindness from Amber, Rogue Mama Stitcher. Another couple of little needle minders. So we have The Magic Was Already In You, and Crescent Moon Constellations. So really chuffed to get those. Amber is fast becoming one of my favourite people ever. Beautiful stitching, but just such a lovely person. For my birthday, my best friends bought me the digital version of the Me Stitch List Get Stitched Done planner. So I probably wouldn't have been able to justify paying for that myself, but somebody else paid for it. So thank you very much, Greg. Okay. Some more. So let's start with Stitch Kindness from my friend Sam. Joan Elliott Halloween silhouette. Sam had a duplicate. I had 2 copies, so she asked if I'd wanted one. I'm not going to say no. Why would I say no? But along with that came some surprises. So first off, I have a beautiful project bag. A gorgeous cat. If you haven't realised yet, I do like cats. I like purple, I like black, and this is perfect for me. So not only that, but in it comes this chart. So see the sorceress. She has actually cropped up a couple of times, once in person and several other times just in reference to past events in the Percy Jackson books. So that's quite appropriate, plus purple. It actually says she's stitched on Paul Stitch's Bewitched fabric, which is the fabric I'm using for Bellatrix. So how cool is that? I am going to have to buy some more if I'm going to want to use it the same one for this, but before I do that I will hunt through my stash and see what I've got. And that came with the metallic threads, the Rainbow Gallery threads, which I've never used before, but we'll see how they go. And lots of purple beads. So huge thanks for that, Sam. It is perfect. And also in my little bag of haul, I have another project bag. So this was part of the Christmas box from Coffee Craft Fabrics. So yeah, it's got a nice little charm on it. So we have, as thought, 6 fabrics, 2 large size, 2 medium size, 2 small, a grand guard matches the project bag. It's really too small for most of my projects, but I'm sure I'll find something that it fits. some more needle minders. It says, if you see me with a seam ripper, now is not the time. Absolutely dead right. And chocolate, which I will need to hide from my husband, or he will eat it before I get a chance. Snowdrop's trying to get off the snuggles. She'll be lucky. I do have more haul to show you, but I'm going to stop the video and get a tray or something to put on my lap because it's lots of little bits. So give me a minute, I'll be right back. Okay, so the last part of haul is actually quite big. It comes in this pretty little bag. I have already shown some of what came in this in the last video, but that was Black Friday sale stuff. This is the 12 days of Christmas. So we have a nice little pile here. Now, depending on whether you start counting on Christmas Day or the day after, um, 12th night is either tonight or last night. So either way, I should actually be in the clear to show you all of this, because hopefully everybody has opened everything. Try and get it back in some sort of order. Right, so we have a nice little pile of goodies. So let's get started. In one, we have some cable ties of the bendy variety. So I'm damn sure I'll find a use for them. And two, this might show up bluer than it actually is. It's actually a beautiful emerald green. So that's a silk. Snowdrop's looking at me, not very amused. In three, so my guess is scissors, but cute reindeer. Four has needle threader, a selection of plastic bobbins, pink, pale blue, white and clear, and a seam ripper. So that goes quite nicely with the needle minder from Coffee Club. 5 is a cotton thread. So this reminds me of the fruit salad sweets that you used to get in your tempeh mix. Is clips. I actually got a couple of these from her previously, so always useful, and a whole bunch of needles, embroidery, tapestry, crewel, darning, you name it, it's in there. Number 7, stalk scissors. Never have too many scissors. Number 8 is charts for a couple of ornaments, fabric and thread, including backing fabric and cord for hangers. Number 9 is a couple of little project bags. Nearly there. Number 10 is a piece of hand-dyed fabric. So I need to check the size, but quite possibly that Joan Elliott Halloween silhouette would work really well on that. Couple of Santa needle minders, and in cellophane we have beeswax. So we've got a teddy bear, a Christmas tree, and a gingerbread man. Not scented, sadly. I can't see me using these. They're just too beautiful to be running your thread through. And I have lots of, actually have some thread magic left, but I also have some thread heaven, so I think these are might be kept for some unspecified future time. And number 12 is a little slip with writing on to claim a free pattern. So I did do the email at the time, but it's quite possible they just weren't working. So I've not had the pattern yet, but I shall chase that up, because if today's 12th night, today might be the day. And that is it for haul. I say that's it, that's actually quite a lot. So lots of little things in this from Mo Sale, but that green thread is just gorgeous. I know people, not everybody got the same. One of my friends got a beautiful pair of pink, so you know, there's been good variety. Finally, my new Flosstuber is called the Flightless Stitcher. There's 3 videos at the moment. I still haven't watched number 3. Number 2 was definitely fun, being brought to you by Rosé Wine, among other things. She's in New Zealand, which is where actually the flightless reference comes from, because the national bird is a kiwi, which is a flightless bird. I do have a few friends in and from New Zealand, so I could kind of get away with that one. She's done some lovely pieces. She's actually quite a fast stitcher as well, even though she says she isn't. She really is. It really does bring to light, though, the difficulty that they've been having with getting supplies, and not just stitching supplies, but any sort of supplies. Like things that are not being sent over from Australia, they're getting to Australia and stopping. They're not making that extra little jump to get to New Zealand. Things you know, sat on the docks at New Zealand, at Australia for 6 to 8 weeks before they get moved on. So yeah, it's stuff that you didn't really think about when you're in the UK and the US. I mean, we've had enough problems getting stuff, but you know, we're talking about luxuries and things, you know. She's talking about necessities. So yeah, go give her a watch. Might be useful to have had a glass of rosé yourself. But yeah, she's fun. And again, some lovely pieces. And I think that's everything. So I have a little snowdrop come to say, hurry up mum, I want snuggles. So anyway, I would like to wish everybody a happy and healthy new year. Stay safe, stay crafting, subscribe, like, comment. Every video that you do leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe. Everything helps to get more people like you coming to watch us. So have fun until the next time we see you. Bye.